Hello, my name is Hwaldar from DaGameTrain, and today is a good day to be alive, for me at least, because we're gonna take a look at a game that's actually good. I don't even know how to put this actually. I don't know how to feel. I mean, it's about fucking time that you get a good game to have a look at. So what we're dealing with today? Well, we got a game here called KITE, which is developed by LabCat Games, which happens to be a one-person development studio with a love for old school gaming. Is that so? Well, they also claim that the distinctive retro future setting, synthwave soundtrack and pixel art style are the hallmarks of KITE and the kind of nostalgic experiences the company aims to produce. Well, if that is the case, then I'm quite eager to see what exactly we have on our plate. Again. Because I have played this before, I wouldn't be coming to you and saying it's good if I didn't. Without wasting too much of our time, let's get straight into the action and see exactly what we have here. And here is KITE. Now before we start, don't you think it would be better if you put a train to the top left corner? Yeah, I don't know about you, but it looks kind of sexy. I like the way it looks. Maybe the dev should consider it. Anyway, here is KITE, and as the main menu suggests, you get to play as someone who looks distinctly feminine, and looks like the story decided to kick in. Shoo! Don't need no stinking story in my video games. Keep that shit away. There is a story for this game, but as far as I can remember, it's not particularly interesting. Basically, weapons research and development is banned. About fucking time, some people would say. Me, I kinda like guns, so I don't really care. But, as you can imagine, banning the gun research and development does mean jack and shit to those who just wanna use guns. But that's about as much as I remember. And can you blame me? I usually don't go for the stories in video games, so this is pretty much a no-brainer for me. The story is very basic, and if you feel like it, you can look it up by yourself. It's about as cheesy and simple as you can get for an old school experience. I guess we got that part right. It's just about as old school as any other game. As in, the story means just as much as you're willing to put effort into believing in it. Anyway, what we've got ourselves here after hitting start game and finishing up the tutorial, of course, which we won't get to see today, is this screen which has a lot of shit, but not all of it is what you need to care about. Let's start with the basics. Right here in the middle we have us. Well, sort of. You see, you play as an android called Mags, and if you ever played anything from Adventure Game Studios or have any memories of Adventure Game Studios, you'll find the name to be a little confusing at first. I think they have some kind of a competition running with the same name. Can't quite remember. But that's besides the point. The point is, it's an android, which means it can be upgraded, as seen by these random fists, turbines, chest plates and whatnot. You can see that all of these pieces come with their own stats and shit. So you have sort of an RPG system here. You have to upgrade yourself and level yourself up to be stronger, faster, better. But as the game is right now, it's a fairly shallow system. Not that it's a big deal in this game, I would say, cause it's easy to pick up and get straight to what you want. Like, it's very easy to get all the parts that you want to get. Me, I like going straight for the best parts available, which I already have. So I went for them. It didn't take long at all, which I'm glad that it doesn't take long. I mean, it could take a bit more effort to get them, but the way it is right now, actually, it's pretty good. I like it the way it is. Could be a little bit adjusted, but that's not up to me to decide. But adding new parts to your Android is just one part of the solution to surviving and blowing shit up. After all, this is a twin stick shooter. We also have a few other things. We can have well, some sort of bots here, although we can't buy any new ones as far as I'm aware. But you can find them scattered all over the levels, so just pick them up and they'll help you out in combat. You also have operating systems, which there's only 2 of those. You can choose either Stream88 or COS. The difference between the two is that Stream88 allows you to just move faster and have more agility, which is one of the stats which increases your ranged weapons damage. Or you can have COS operating system, which will improve your armor and will give you more strength, which is what you need for melee weapons, which I personally think are kinda shitty. I mean, it's a twin stick shooter and all the enemies are ranged, so it's probably better to stick with the guns. I mean, you start with some guns already. There's also some special abilities that you can purchase. One of them is the satellite beam, which refills your ammo and energy for 6 seconds. It's kinda neat but very situational, because you almost never need this. And flash, which I actually had to purchase. You normally start out with barrier, which just puts down a shield, which protects you from damage. Flash allows you to teleport. It's a bit finicky to use, but you'll see what I mean. And afterwards, the only thing that matters are the guns. After all, this is a twin stick shooter, like I said 5 times already. Normally you start out with these 2 handguns, so to say, and a big gun. I believe your starting weapon is a contender laser crossbow. I bought a better one. JLP laser crossbow. The SMGs and multi-lasers here, they're your starter weapons. But don't be fooled. The DPS counters that show up after you put your cursor on the weapons will definitely be much lower for you once you start the game for the first time. I have this much damage after maxing out my character and getting all of my upgrades. As you can see, I usually go for the big guns, because they're big, they hurt more, and well, I like it better. You also don't use that much ammo, at least not that I think that they do. Before we get straight into the action, there are 2 more things that need to be checked out: the upgrader and the workshop. Let's check out the upgrader first. Here you see the upgrader. It's basically your skill tree. You can switch the trees by pressing tab or just clicking on the icons. There are 4 skill trees: arms, energy, tempo, and survival. They're currently in survival. Survival gives you all the necessary skills to just survive, which basically is either going faster or having better base stats or just regenerating your shields and health a little faster. Like brute force, ample fort, and stout frame will be improving your base stats, while anti-shock will be reducing damage that you take up to a certain percentage, of course. Arms skill tree gives you skills necessary for your weapons. Better damage, I suppose. I think that's what it is. Well, there's increased agility, which also increases your damage with the ranged weapons. There's accuracy, which I think it's only useful for certain weapons. I haven't found a lot of use out of it. You can increase your clip size, reduce ammo costs, which really helps out. I recommend getting these two skills, ammo cost and clip size. You'll see why soon enough. And for the rest, well, it's up to you, really. Energy has to do everything with energy. No shit. But also has a few other things. While mostly it's about critical strikes and energy regeneration, which is absolutely necessary for both your energy based weapons and turbo, which we'll get into soon enough. It also has two skills related to strength, Power Arm and Mega Crush. Now, strength, as I said, is only for melee weapons, but I picked up a few of these things just for shits and giggles, just to see what's up. It could actually undo some of this shit. It's a bit odd that you can't just choose what to undo, and instead have to undo everything until you get what you want. A little odd. But here we go, I got some points back. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of the turbo burst. That would allow me to have 3 extra points instead of 2. But that's okay. I'll just put it into something else. Perhaps armor core? Nah, let's put it to clip size and accuracy. Why not? It only increases by 1%, but it might come in handy. I'm not sure what the deal is with some of these skills though. Most of them have 2 stages. Others have 3 stages, and others have only 1 stage. But I can't tell what exactly is the point of these stages. Do they gradually increase up to that max limit? Like if range boost here. It says increases your range of weapons by 20 meters. Does it mean that if I have the first stage unlocked, it only increases by 10 meters? Or is it something else? Perhaps the developer can explain this further, because I have no idea what it does. Anyway, tempo is all about improving your tempo power, which we'll explain soon enough, and the droids, which help you in combat. I almost never upgrade anything in here because it's kind of situational. It's only useful if you use tempo a lot, and I don't do that. Guess I'm too traditional for that. But that's the upgrader. Make sure to visit it often, whenever you have leveled up and have points to spend. It'll help you out. The level cap right now is 38, so keep in mind that you have a fairly limited amount of points. And the workshop is where you go to get your items. The upgrade modules for your android and new weapons. Here's how it works. When you complete a level, you will collect some scrap. This is money, so to say. You'll also rescue some personnel, which is basically a level, let's say. Like you see, right here it says team size 1. It determines the design complexity as the game suggests. So with 1 personnel, I can get all of these items here, or all of these weapons, which you actually already have, so only 1 weapon is available to unlock. The more personnel you have, the better items you'll be able to research, or, well, create I should say. You can go up to 50. I already got the best ones from the maximum team size range, as well as weapons. but I have to tell you something. Just because an item or a weapon is in the 50s range, like in the 50 personnel range, it doesn't mean that it's better. Let's have a quick look at the DPS counts here before we get into the action. I really want to get into it, but can't leave out all the details. This is kind of important actually. As you can see, the laser crossbow here has a DPS of 8074. That's pretty good. It will destroy a lot of enemies with ease. And that is just the base damage. Wait till we get all the extra doodads included, like armor penetration and criticals. Now we have a few other weapons to use, like the dragon's tail and the Giga Cannon. Well, let's have a look at the Giga Cannon. What's up with this one? Well, you see here the DPS is smaller by a whole whopping 5,000 points. Why is that? Well, let's have a look at the stats. It has less base damage, but well, that seems to be about it. I think it uses a little bit less ammo than a laser crossbow, but that's about the difference. Less ammo consumption and less damage. Okay, well, this is a lower grade weapon, so it's kind of expected. Now here's a higher grade weapon. The base damage is 1 to 6, but the rate of fire is 60, so its base DPS is 210. That's a bit above the laser crossbow. You'd think this would be a better weapon then. It uses the exact same amount as the Giga Cannon actually. Well, the DPS is higher, but as you'll soon find out, this isn't necessarily a better weapon. Let's get straight into the action now. Hit space to enter your first level, Secret Garden. Before every mission, you'll be given this little screen to read some shit. You don't have to. It's nice to read it if you want to, but it's not necessary. All you need to know is that there will be some icons here to show you what you need to do. Power supply, turret, rescue, and later on some others. That's all you need to know. And here is the game. And for some odd reason you always start out with less than full HP. Why is that? Happens every fucking time. So here you are. This is mags, this is your shield, this is your health. When you get hit, you'll lose some shield first. Once the shield is depleted, you'll start losing health. If you're not getting shot at, shield regenerates, and after the shield is fully regenerated, health starts to regenerate. So that's all nice and dandy, like cotton fucking candy. On the bottom left, you can see some other things. Q is your teleport, and it seems like you can clip through walls with it. E is, well, the beam, which regenerates your ammo and energy. And this arrow thing is actually one of the upgrades that you can get. If you double tap to a direction, it'll allow you to dash, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. A better way to do dashing or just running fast is by using turbo, which is basically just sprinting. Just hold spacebar and you will run very, very fast at incredibly high speeds. Note, however, that this uses your energy, which is indicated by the battery. Energy is also used for your weapons, especially for the sign laser, Dragon's Tail, I believe it's called. I already forgot the name. I just call it sign laser myself. Bullets, naturally, they represent how many bullets you have. Now, the good thing is, you never have to worry about ammunition, because even bullets regenerate. But let's have a look at that weapon of ours. Well, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? I like the way that gun shoots and looks. But if you paid close attention to the ammo counter, you'll notice that my ammo was draining pretty damn fast. That's the big dealio with this weapon. It drains your ammo like nothing else. Other things that you need to know are, well, the number 38, which in your situation it should be 1 when you first start the game. That's your level counter. And the thing next to it is the tempo meter. To activate tempo, just hold shift. What is tempo? It's just adrenaline mode. Everything slows down, so you can take your sweet ass time to shoot shit and get shit done. Awesome. You can also see your shield and health counters at the bottom left. Health is shown as the heart, while the shield is shown as that blue outline on the edge. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. In this first level, the idea of rescuing these people is, well, it's pretty basic. You have to talk with them in order to rescue them. I think I rescued this person already, or maybe he doesn't count as a person you're supposed to rescue. Doesn't matter. Throughout the levels you'll find various hazards and, of course, enemies, which are just random battle robots. Or a turret. Now the hazards involve spikes and mines. That's about it. I don't think it's gonna get any more, well, advanced than that, but it would be nice if it would. You usually talk with a scientist through the first few levels by just walking into them. You press space to continue with the dialogue. Now, I personally am not a big fan of these scientists because in the first few levels they can get a little bit annoying. I wish you wouldn't have to stop and talk with them the first time around, because the first time around when you talk with a guy you will be stuck until you're finished talking. Only on subsequent chats will you be able to just walk away from a dialogue, which in one of the levels can actually be dangerous and get you killed. I'll show you what I mean. But if you're paying close attention, you'll notice that the sign laser is only useful if you're firing in short bursts, because it drains your ammo like nothing else. It's a crazy weapon. But if you know what you're doing, you could actually make it worthwhile. I don't know, I don't usually use it, not anymore. Anyway, complete all the objectives and go straight for the elevator, which you'll have a nice arrow pointing to once you're done. And you're greeted by the stage clear screen, where the score is tallied up and you're given your rank. At the moment it's C because I took a very long time. Just wanted to explain everything that there is to know. There are 4 ranks: C, B, A, and S. You want to go for the S rank, but let me tell you something. S ranks are pretty difficult to get. You need to be fast as shit, blow everything up, and also pick up stuff that needs to be picked up, which is databanks, tech, and scrap. I think. I'm not sure about tech, but scrap is, well, like I said, your money, and databanks are things that you collect after blowing up computers. In some of the levels, they will be necessary. In others, not so much. When you get an S rank, those 4 boxes with shit shown in them will light up. Well, actually, they start lighting up as soon as you get rank B, I believe, or rank A. And while the first 2 icons, the box and the gun, are pretty self-explanatory if you've been to the workshop already, the other 2, I've no idea what they are. The wrench and the joystick, I guess what it is. I've no idea what that's for. What does it mean? What does it do? Once you hit space, you'll be greeted back here to check on your upgrades, get some new items, and move on to the next area. You can switch between levels with A and D. At the moment there's only 8 levels, which makes this game actually very short.